Welcome back to the Nerd Paradise Podcast with your hosts, Marky B, your concerned citizen Harvey, and the spawn of evil Matt.
Yes, welcome to a special segment. Due to recent events that we shall not talk about on here, we have decided to talk about what happens in the event of a zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. And there are many things to consider here.
Now, before we do anything like that, this is only just for fantasy's sake, and
shits and giggles.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not starting a movement here.
Yes. No. Mind you, should hell break loose and zombies begin to roam the earth, feel free to take a listen. Maybe you'll hear something useful. Mind you, we're probably just going to be rambling for about half an hour here.
The nerds shall inherit the earth because they're the ones that know how to use all the fucking medieval weapons to kill all the zombies with when everything goes to the shitter.
Well, or if you're a gun fanatic, then...
Yeah.
Well, yes.
That and we actually recognize what the fuck a zombie is.
Yes. Now, you have to consider not just why the zombie apocalypse is up, but like what kind of zombies we're dealing with.
Yes. For this instance, we should actually... narrow down what kind of zombies we're dealing with.
Now, this isn't the type of old African voodoo zombie where you just cast witch doctors cast a spell and the dead arise and become their unbegotten slaves.
Yes, these are like your mindless, flesh-eating, rotting corpses. I believe we should go for.
Mm-hmm.
As with what is popular these days, we shall go with what is shown normally in The Walking Dead.
So basically, virus.
Well, yeah, virus of unknown origin. Let's go with that. And it's everyone's infected, but it only starts spreading once you die. A bite isn't what causes the infection. What it causes you to become a zombie. It just causes the infection that kills you, and you become a zombie. Decapitation obviously is the best form of
abstinence
of prevention here.
Now let's talk about the traits of a zombie.
And of course, going with the fact that destroying the brain is the goal here.
Yes. Now, let's talk about the characteristics of a zombie for those who don't know.
Yes. In these cases, the Walking Dead zombies we shall go with.
Yes. Some may move slow, but some can walk fast depending on if the prey is there.
Yeah, you don't get your running zombies like Resident Evil.
Yeah, we won't get running zombies, but there are those that either one aren't as decomposed or two just prey is very near them, can at least manage to get up to a brisk walk.
Or three, the one that do their 5K every morning before they get their day started.
Now, even though they are slower,
doesn't mean they are less of a threat.
No, because
these ones come in hordes.
Yes. The main weapon of a zombie, which is basically what they're good at, is coming in numbers.
Yes. Numbers, and they are relentless. You have to remember that. A zombie will not stop going after its prey until it is put down.
Because there is no brain limiter. The brain limiter is removed.
Yes, there's no such thing as fatigue, there's no such thing as giving up.
Pain.
So it is all 100%.
Yeah. It may not be 100% at full throttle, but it's still 100% at whatever pace it's going.
You gotta admire the determination.
The tenacity.
Now, we talk about the main features and the main weapons. Yeah. Another weapon is again, because they have no limiter, the incredible strength they have. Yeah. With the bite and the hands.
The hands. Now, mind you, we're not talking about super strength here. We're talking about human strength pushed to the part where there is no pain to stop you from going to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. So they're not stronger than the average person. They just
they have no restraint
to their strength in this case. Mind you, in terms of the bite, a human bite is always powerful, no matter what, though. So, living or dead, a human bite can do damage.
Not as damage as, let's say, an
American
alligator, but...
Yeah, no, we still can put at least 2,200 pounds of pressure onto a single point with a bite.
Yes.
And that's quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. Now to the part where it gets gruesome. how to physically. Well, actually, first
how you get killed, essentially. Because in this case, we're going with everyone's infected, and you automatically become one when you die, no matter what the circumstances of your death. Thank God they finally established that in the last episode.
Yes.
So essentially, what's happening is a bite, mostly a bite. Occasionally, a really deep scratch, has to be a certain depth, will cause you to get a nasty infection. The infection of a zombie is more than what you would get if you were bitten by a regular person, just because there's no exchange of constant swallowing or spitting of the saliva to refresh the deadly bacteria that can accumulate in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So that bite will cause an infection that will spread rapidly.
Yeah.
And that rapid infection will cause fever, delirium, eventual death, and when you die, you come back as one of the dead. Or the undead in this case. I think that about covers it.
Yeah, now for the way... how to prepare yourself, basically.
Yes. Now, at the beginning of one of these things, let us assume that this is happening in our world. So where fiction about the undead actually exists. Because in the world of The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman has done it so that there's not any actual true mention of zombies in any kind of form of literature.
Yeah.
So let us assume that it's happening in our world, and we know what zombies are.
Yes.
So like, all the games still exist. There's Resident Evil, Left 4 Dead. Hell, even The Walking Dead's still on TV.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yes. So let's just assume it exists in this scenario.
First thing you'll need...
Let's start at the beginning. Like, how these things begin. It always begins with something, with some doctors or something mistaking the symptoms for something else.
Yeah, like a common cold.
Common cold, rabies, something else. Yeah,
or sometimes it's accidentally created to be some form of a cure and goes absolutely batshit wrong.
Yeah. So let's assume that the first few victims of this, when doctors look at them, either one, they assume it's nothing too big, or two, they just don't follow proper procedures, and that's when the first infections begin. News coverage begins, people are infected, nobody knows what's going on. But nobody's really panicking yet because they think everything's fine, nothing's wrong, the cops and military can take care of this.
Mm-hmm.
It escalates from there. One, no cops or military are ever trained in these kind of situations where anyone around you could essentially rise up and begin attacking you. That's not something that you're trained for or prepared for mentally in any case. In our world, we may have tons and tons of zombie fiction and such, but honestly, when you really bring it down, if somebody right next to you that just got shot suddenly rises up and begins attacking you, you ain't mentally prepared for that shit.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay?
How fast is that anyway?
It all depends. Like, if you get shot and you die, it usually can be within a minute. If it's via the infection process, that usually changes how long it takes.
Usually hours.
Within hours or maybe shorter.
You think about it, if someone dies before they become a zombie, as long as you bury them deep enough and face down, you probably don't have to worry about them coming back.
No, but still, we're going with people are dumb in this day and age, and that's the thing. People are still dumb as fuck in this scenario here. Okay, we've talked about human stupidity. We've mentioned Nash and his show, What the Fuck is Wrong with You? People are just that stupid. So, I'm sorry to say, but if a zombie thing starts happening, it's going to spread.
Florida's going to be the first to go.
Yeah. It's going to spread no matter what, because people are dumb. So, let's get that all of the way. It escalates. Things are spreading. Major cities are falling to this. Okay? People are going down left, right, and center. At this point is when you yourself come in. You realize things are bad. You realize what's going on. You're a nerd. You've read this stuff. You've read the literature. You've played the games. You know what's going on. What do you do?
I need a weapon.
Well,
No.
before that, you need to figure out what will be your food source and what shelter you will shelter.
I think shelter and finding out a plan of how to get there is probably one of your first things.
Yeah,
That's one of your first things. Also, we have to factor in that as humans, we want companionship.
Yeah. A group
So, and a group is always better. So, I would like to assume that a lot of people's first instincts, once realizing what the hell is going on, is to contact people that you are friends with and are family with. And the closer they are, you want to get them with you. If they're far away, you just want to know that they're safe.
yes.
I can just imagine the Twitter feeds now. Zombies coming around. Who wants to meet up at Starbucks? LOL.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's the kind of...
Hashtag doom.
But yeah, so let us assume that one of the first things you want to do is to get safe.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about getting safe? Where would be the ideal place to, at the very least, get your bearings in this kind of situation?
Probably a hardware store.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what kind of hardware store do you want? Do you want something big, or do you want a smaller one?
A small hardware store, because you can't really monitor the bigger ones, right?
Yes, but a big one has its advantages. For one, more supplies, and two, easier to seal entrances and exits, and three, as I said, more exits, more escape routes.
Yeah.
If you're in a small enclosed space, while you may be able to monitor your surroundings better, but if you fuck up, you're essentially in your own cage here.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's one thing. You want a hardware store, but you also want food. You want water. You want things to sustain you.
Yeah.
You can't survive on those little lollipops they have at the checkout at Canadian Tire. They'll only get you for like 2 days.
So now you're thinking something that can provide everything for you.
Pirate Punch is not enough.
Yeah. So that comes up with the one logical idea that we must thank the Americans for. Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Aha. That has everything.
Walmart, that has everything, that its doors lock with cages, that have multiple locks on all their exits, that use magnet locks on their indoor doors, on their systems, that most of their emergency exits don't have handles on the outside. That's where you head. Walmart. And that's maybe the one case where I will say this, and do not quote me. God bless America. Consumerism will save the day.
Wow,
Now,
this is a landmark moment, people.
yes, but now going on, what we want to figure out now is how to get from point A to point B. Let's start with, say, us. Say we're here, we're together. What's the game plan?
Probably jack a car.
Do any of us know how to drive?
Doesn't matter.
Again, do any of us know how to drive competently? That we won't get ourselves killed behind the wheel.
It's probably better to die like that than by zombies.
That's not the point. You're thinking too small.
Okay.
If you're dealing in a zombie apocalypse, and there's chances of cars on the road that are abandoned and such like that, what you want is something that, if you hit something, it's not going down.
So not a tandem bicycle.
No.
Okay.
Your best bet would be...
A snowplow!
That would be our ideal bet, yes. But your best bet for something that's easily accessible and all over the city? A bus.
Yes.
Okay. Please clarify here. One that's already running or one that we're going to take?
Yeah, you forget Toronto.
Because if there's zombie shit going on, they're probably not going to have TTC running. So...
We're going to steal it.
So we can't drive a car because we might die. So we're going to take a bus.
Think of it this way. If something clips the back of the bus and we're all at the front, we have a higher chance of surviving than if we're in a small car that gets hit.
Yeah, but if somebody knocks the bus over, there are no seatbelts. We just tumble around in our cage.
There's no seatbelts, but buses filled with emergency exits that we are much easier to get out of. Plus, if you hold on tight enough, it's been proven that you are more likely to survive a crash in a bus than you are in a car.
I've had to hold on really tight to survive a bus making a turn.
Yeah.
Hell, braking.
Yeah, but there have been studies that show that if you are in your seat and you hold on, you are more likely to survive a crash in a bus than you are in a car.
Okay. So
a bus would be your best bet because, one, if we shut it down, if we shut the doors to the bus and don't plan on opening them, we should be able to fairly safely be able to travel through the city, not going at a high speed, mind you, and where we find cars in our way, simply put them in neutral and get them out of the way, all the while protecting ourselves.
So, considering that this is Toronto we're talking about, and that, say in a Resident Evil scenario where cars are stopped and the streets are full of them, we're going to have to get up and get out and move every car out of the way to move a bus and maneuver that through the streets.
Because you're forgetting one thing. Our sidewalks are fucking huge compared to other cities.
Not enough for a bus in some places.
Enough in most places where we can get by, and in other places we have parks and such we can cut through. We don't care about this bus's suspension at this point, or its things. We can cut through the dirt trails if we have to.
Perhaps.
Also, we can carry more shit in a bus.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gamers. When we see a shortcut, we're going to take it. Okay? While, yes, the streets will be packed, but Toronto has enough side streets and everything that we should be fine. Because honestly, we're not going to be caring if the back wheels of the bus at that point cross into somebody's goddamn backyard or front yard or whatever. We're going to take the turns whichever wide or thin we want.
I suppose, yeah.
And honestly, from this location, all we have to do is get over to Eglinton.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Like up to Eglinton?
Well, yeah, up to Eglinton.
Okay, people don't know people
bus.
don't know.
Well, we're assuming that most people that are listening to this are from Toronto.
Well, I'm just trying to figure...
The Walmart at Warden in Eglinton.
We have to get a bus, but there aren't any right on this street.
Subway station's right there. Another subway station is right there. There's tons of buses, and we can assume that there are going to be other buses strewn around that people have either, one, abandoned, or two, have simply stopped running. There's enough buses in this city, it has been counted, to, at the same time, carry over 1 million people. We'd be fairly safe to find a bus. Otherwise, of course, we have another option that's much more deadlier.
Oh.
The subway.
Yeah, I don't really trust that.
No, wandering through dark tunnels where, evil usually thrives before an apocalypse breaks out, that's definitely dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go for a bus because there's enough. Plus, we also have the option of school buses that may have been abandoned, or even small school buses, which would still be a better choice than a car.
Yeah,
not to mention, of course, even outside of TTC buses, there's also tour buses that may be around, or just other things. And
Greyhounds are comfy.
Yeah. Or even forgetting about a bus, there's also trucks in the area that we could use.
Yeah.
What we want is something that's got room in it, that we can carry supplies in, and it's not small. Yeah. Small will get us killed.
Mm-hmm. Small can't plow stuff.
Yeah. Ideally, like Mark said, a snowplow would be the best choice. But we can hope and pray that a zombie apocalypse happens in the winter. Especially considering that our last winter day really didn't even need the plows.
No.
Mm-hmm. So we need something reliable that is easy to get to. Bus is our choice. Especially considering that most buses in the city these days, at low speeds, do not need gasoline. Rely on the electric engines.
Not bad.
So we're saved there from having to stop at a gas station. So that's our form of transport. Not the fastest thing, but the safest thing. Now, It's us three here.
Mm-hmm.
So this area.
Yeah.
Between here and the Walmart, or just anywhere within the next area. Do you think we would need to worry about picking somebody up that we personally know?
Over by here? Feel like I should know.
We just mentioned him.
Yeah, we kind of need Duke.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Because Duke is knows some mechanic stuff.
Yes, we kind of want our mechanic here for our ride.
That's a good point.
Yes, that would be our goal. I know we all have other people we would like to have with us,
But this is a survival situation.
Survival situation, and from here to Walmart is where our goal is. We can contact people we want to contact via internet or phone, because those things are never going to go down thanks to satellite systems. Mm-hmm. And if there's nobody on the receiving end of like Rogers or Telus or anything, there's nobody to shut down our phones.
That's true.
So all this bullshit you see in zombie apocalypse movies where people's phones aren't working anymore, bullshit. If there's nobody there to press the off switch, it's not off. And it's satellites, people. Zombies ain't getting to satellites to knock those down.
Zombies in space is kind of a scary but also comical thought.
Yeah. So there's that. We have ways to contact the people. Yeah. We have ways to contact people. We can tell them that while we cannot get to them and they probably cannot get to us, and it would be ill-advised to at that moment in time to do so, we can at least tell them to get to a similar kind of place that we're heading to be safe. Mm-hmm. Now, who do we not pick up?
Loud people?
People we do not pick up is anybody we do not know.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Because anybody we do not know is potentially somebody that can fuck us over.
Stranger danger.
Yeah. It's especially worse in that kind of situation. If we do not know them and they seem kind, we apologize to them, but we tell them that we cannot take that risk.
Yeah, and this is a survival situation.
Yeah. So we go with the ones we trust. If you can trust them, that's who we get. Because we know they will not screw us over. Mm-hmm. So between here and there, Duke is our one stop.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now I know what you're thinking. Why not go to an apartment building? Zombies aren't great with stairs and elevators. Lack of supplies.
Yeah.
While many apartment fridges may be stocked, a lot may also have been completely cleaned out by people going through it there at the time, or people that simply remove the contents of their fridges as they fled the city.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. Fleeing the city. Unless you know for sure that the city itself is going to be eradicated in some way, you are safer in the city than you are outside the city.
Yeah. More cover, more supplies.
More cover, more light, more supplies. Because the power grid will not go down unless it is actually cut. And I don't see zombies with wire cutters anywhere around, okay?
Little yellow construction helmets and reflective orange vests.
Oh, that just reminds. Don't look at Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah. Alright. So continuing on. So 4 people. That's a good group. We can cover each other's backs. We have the buddy system with us at all times.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we get to Walmart. It may take a while, but we get there. Anyone want to pick up from here?
Oh. What if there are people there?
There you go. That's the first problem going to arise. Other people. Mm-hmm. What's the solution there?
You got plenty of options.
Because we've already established that there's stranger danger.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that's the safest place to be.
Yeah.
So, what do we do?
Well, we can't. There's lots of options, but some of them may lead to something bad, and like a bad end. There's one that comes to mind is trying to negotiate, but that again you don't trust, so that leads to a bad end. Then there's trying to force them out, another bad end. There's leaving and trying to find another location, bad end.
there's having to kill them, which is arguably
Again,
a bad
conflict.
end.
What I said before, bad end.
Yeah.
So what's the answer to this situation? Because this is your first true obstacle.
Because the human in me says to negotiate, that's not going to work.
No. The best thing in this situation, in my opinion at least, whenever there is a group of people, no matter how big or how small, 99% of the time there is somebody that takes a leadership role.
Yeah.
That's who we want to talk to. We don't care about anyone else. We talk to the person that looks like they're in charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they are one of two things. Zealot, as in they are in charge because our people are looking into their bullshit. Mm-hmm. Or they are a politician that's still alive. At this point in time, we do not need some politician spouting political nonsense with us as if it still applies.
So best decision would be if the leader is either a normal person,
or better yet, like us, another nerd that knows what shit's going down.
Mm-hmm.
An everyday average Joe.
Yeah, that's what we want. Somebody that's an average Joe, but has enough authority or something to them that people will listen to.
So
them.
like a small time cop.
Yeah, like a cop or
a fireman or
something like that. Mm-hmm. Somebody that's got some kind of authority to them that people are listening to them.
Yeah,
that's who we want to talk to. That's who will give us a feel of the place. And that's who will decide whether we are allowed to stay. Mm-hmm. We don't talk to anybody else. Anybody else even looks at us weird, we turn away. Not like away from the place, but we turn away from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We find the guy who's in charge, that's who you talk to. And you just hope he's a reasonable person.
He or she.
Yeah. We just hope they are a reasonable person.
Yeah.
Now, one of two things will happen in this case if they are a reasonable person. They deem us, they allow us to stay, or they do not. No matter what, we have to accept that decision.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't want to start causing shit.
No. So, for argument's sake, let's say they let us stay. Mm-hmm. Where do we go from there? Guys, you want to chime in? I seem to be leading this the whole time.
From there, we check out and make sure all the security points are secure.
We can, if that hasn't already been done. Mm-hmm. If it has, let's move on to something else.
Shelter.
No,
we already have shelter.
It's a shelter already.
We have the Walmart. We have a shelter.
Okay, well, within, but okay.
How much supplies are going around?
Exactly.
Is what we need to know.
Mm-hmm. We want to know how many people this place could sustain for a decent amount of time without it erupting into violence.
Mm-hmm. And then going on to a next location.
Yeah. So what we want to do is determine how much canned goods, stuff that isn't going to expire quickly, stuff that can be cooked, because most of these places have some kind of cooking kind of thing somewhere.
Oh, there's always like outdoor barbecues and stuff like that.
Yeah. Something like that. How much can be cooked, how soon it has to be cooked, how much of it can be stored frozen, how much has to be stored fresh in the freezers, mm-hmm. and whether or not the place is still integrated into the actual power grid, and if it isn't, how good is the generator?
Yeah.
That's the stuff we ourselves want to know while we're there. Everyone else, whatever they want to do, we do. We can interact whoever we want with at this point. As long as we've been accepted by the leader there, we should be fine.
Yeah.
As long as we don't seem suspicious or arouse other people's suspicions. We want to find out those things. So we have a game plan for later. Because at one point or another, shit's going to run out.
Yeah. And then we have to move.
Yes. Okay, let's say we've got enough stuff to last a group of
20.
A bit more than that. Walmart's fairly big.
30?
Let's say 40.
40, okay.
A group of 40 people, enough stuff to last for 3 months.
Okay.
That's including canned food and taking the risk with a couple of things that can still be edible after the expiration date, just because that's just a cautionary thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's say say we're good with that. How long do we stay?
2.5 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Because you want the month to prepare to go out.
No, because
I guess you want to get your stuff before everything starts looking slim.
yeah, you want to get out before people start realizing that stuff's running out.
Mm-hmm.
Use any excuse you want to think about, or just sneak out. If it's the group's big enough, as in 40, you won't be missed if you haven't been given this kind of important job.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Don't try and get an important job. Don't try to be some kind of gatherer that goes out there. Don't be a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Just be a citizen of that little community that's just been established. And you leave at the 2-month point when you know things are going to be running out.
Sounds reasonable.
That's when you want out. Before shit starts hitting the fan, way before shit starts hitting the fan. And you move on. You stock up on some supplies that won't be missed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And anything you can grab that nobody's claimed to. Because even with that many people, the amount of stuff in a Walmart back room is quite large. So there should be enough to go around of things that aren't ready to be grabbed. Stuff that we would want, especially if we still have the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Clothes for any kind of weather.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how long.
This is Canada.
Yeah, we don't know how long this is going to be going on.
First aid.
First aid supplies, yes. Not that many, though. Another thing that could screw people over in this kind of situation is greed. If we get too greedy in any kind of group we're in, other than any group we're in, we'll be targeted, and we'll be causing problems. We just want bare minimum here.
Mm-hmm. Low key.
Just enough to get us to our next location.
So anything that you can make into a weapon.
Yes.
So,
because the fact of the matter is that this is Canada, and unlike the United States, guns aren't at a ready supply at gun stores.
no.
Yeah.
So,
Now, that's where a place like Canadian Tire comes in.
because Canadian Tire sells a lot of hunting stuff.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What's the one weapon we want?
Shotgun?
No. Yes. Quiet, efficient, easy to use.
Also, reusable ammo.
True.
Yeah. That is the one weapon we want to have with us at all times. A crossbow. You cannot fuck yourself over with a crossbow unless you're a complete retard. That's the one weapon we want. Let us assume that on our way to the Walmart, because the Canadian Tire is near here, we at least picked one up.
Yeah.
And had it with us at all times. Doesn't matter which of us is using it, we have one. Mm-hmm. And a fair amount of bolts.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we want. Some things we can fashion into weapons, the crossbow, and a bare minimum supplies to get us to our next point B. And we want to get out of there before people realize that shit will be hitting the fan.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to do it without having any kind of jobs that will be missed if we leave.
Yeah.
Alright, so we can establish you can survive like in that kind of procedure for at the very least half a year.
Mm-hmm.
Long-term goals, what are they?
Get somewhere near water?
Long term.
More long-term than that.
Find a safe house.
That's one thing, but what would be a safe place to be in this kind of situation?
Up north.
Yes, but how far up north do you want to go? Are you willing to risk?
Enough where if you stay outside, body functions will stop. If it's a long amount of time.
That's one option, yes. But what kind of location do you want to be at?
I don't know. This one's stumping me.
I'm not really sure.
I would say you want to go somewhere as north as Thunder Bay.
Okay.
At the tip of Lake Superior. That's as far north as you want to go. Right below the Arctic Circle, because after that, it's too inhospitable even for yourself.
Yeah. Unless you're Inuit.
Yes, but even then. Now, what's the goal once you get that far north?
Establish yourself?
Where?
Another place with a lot of supplies.
No? At this point, along the trip to there, we will have gathered the supplies.
Okay.
It's a long distance. The trek itself could take up to a month, I would like to think.
A place where there are less people.
How many less people? Let's say we're still in our core group of 4.
Mm-hmm.
How many less people?
No more than 5.
No.
No?
No people.
No people?
At this point in time, after a long enough time, after we've picked up supplies, and we hopefully still have a large vehicle, like a bus or something similar to it, what we want is to establish roots somewhere safe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the safest thing you can think of? Up north, where we can establish roots and carry on for the long term without risk of any kind of interaction with other people.
The forest.
No. Safer than that.
Safer than that?
Centipede. Oh, okay.
I don't know, cottage country?
Close, yes.
Something that... I know the answer, it's just not coming up to mind.
Come on, guys. It's an obvious thing. What is something zombies can't do?
Oh, okay.
Dig?
No, something else.
Climb.
No.
No?
Fly?
No, something else.
Swim?
Yes.
So an island?
But how do we get to the island? That's the question.
Yes, because along a town like Thunder Bay, that's right on the tip of Lake Superior, it's so hard to get a freaking boat.
Well, by the time we get up there, people might have cleared out and there are no more boats left.
In a town like that, not everybody is able to use a boat, and there are certain boats that not everybody would choose to use at the time.
Yeah.
People want fast boats. People want boats that they know how to use.
People are gonna die, they'll probably take their chances.
Not always.
Okay, so yeah,
There's
we get a boat.
Even without it, there's still places up there that make boats. So there are going to be unfinished boats there.
Yeah. Okay, so we get a boat.
And we want to get an island that's near to the city, but so that from our island we can see it, but still offshore, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One that isn't like just a rock with a house on it. One that actually has dirt.
Yeah, so we can't just take like an offshore oil rig or anything.
No, we want something that has land on it.
Land where we can, I don't know...
Plant stuff?
Exactly.
Well, that
plant
far
stuff?
up north.
That far up north during the summer, still a growing period.
It's still,
That's why I said below the Arctic Circle.
we can still, cultivate.
We can still cultivate. There's tomatoes, cucumbers, and potatoes that all can grow within only a 3-month period.
Also, because we're on a lake, we have fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because with human activity gone, the lakes will eventually become cleaner. So we don't have to worry too much about bad water.
And if we're close to a city, we still have communication. If the phone lines aren't dead by then.
Well, it's not even the phone line. It's communication with the mainland.
Yeah.
Because no matter what is going on, a country as big as the United States, there will still be some kind of military going on.
Yeah.
Be it for good or bad, there's still some kind of military. So that's what we want, and that's the long-term goal.
Yeah.
Cabin on a lake, up north,
on a lake.
where you can plant stuff. And that's the goal for a zombie situation, where you slowly make your way to such a location where you can establish yourself and be safe. Another reason why you'd be near town, because gas stations there's so many of them that you'd be able to gather up gasoline to use to power a generator that would be attached to the cabin, but save the oil that you gathered for the generator just for the winter.
Yeah.
You don't want it running year-round.
No.
That's a long-term goal. As little combat as necessary, as little interaction with people that you do not know is necessary, and stick to your core group. Simple things can get you to survive this kind of crisis. Anything else you want to add? Guys, anything, other tips to these fine listeners? To the logical man's
I think we
chain of events?
covered most things, and well, you mostly covered most things.
Besides, like, always know your surroundings and everything.
Which applies less and less the further away you get from places that you recognize, mind you.
With this day and age, maybe if you're scouting for somewhere to stay, you can check and see how many people are where by things like Foursquare and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, you can. I mean, as long as there's power in the world, the internet will still be running. It may not be as fast or update, but it'll still be there. And the information will never go away.
Oh no.
But yeah, so that's the goal you're going for. Long term and short term. Short term, you want to get someplace nearby that you can stay. Long term, you want to establish yourself somewhere. And the main thing you want to be worrying about is, one, the size of your group.
Yeah.
Two, that you can trust everyone with you. And three, that if anything does go wrong, you have to be able to realize that if somebody gets bitten, you have to take them out. You leave your emotions at the door. So if any of us get bitten, I expect anyone else that hasn't been to take them out.
Yeah.
No hesitation. You can say your goodbye, but yeah.
So with that, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I mean, sorry if this wasn't as funny as you may have expected it, but I like to consider this more of a realist way of surviving a situation like this. There may be tons of literature and books, and you may think it'd be all fun and games to be in a zombie apocalypse.
No.
But honestly, it's not. If you really think about to the core of this situation, you're in a world-ending situation where your goal is to survive. So what you want is to just establish a path to get from point A to point B at every single possible moment. People are not to be trusted. People are stupid. People are greedy. People cause problems. Any zombie game that you've played, any humans that you run into during those games, most of them are not going to be your allies. Most of them are going to hinder you in some way. Just think about that. Look out for yourselves and to people that you trust, and you can come out of it alive. The long-term thing is you want to live past the undead. If you manage that, if you manage to get past all that, you may be able to eventually reestablish a civilization. It may take up to 20 years, if not longer, but it is not impossible. I think that's it for this, guys. Any last thoughts on anything we've talked about today?
What have we
learned from our ramblings today?
We've learned that I have some deep-seated issues with some of the ways that Nintendo runs their product.
Yes, apparently Harvey seems to have some issues with Nintendo. Let's talk closer, Harvey. It doesn't seem to be picking you up as much.
Here we go, a little closer now and more audible.
Yes. Anything from your end, Mark?
I've learned that what did I learn?
Well, come on, no silence on the radio.
Shit has happened since last I've been to Anime North. And like, not the good shit.
Yes, things change, unfortunately.
Sometimes for the better.
And other times for the worse. But hopefully people learn from their mistakes, move on, and the next year can be even better.
And Matt?
Well, I've learned that you two guys would be completely fucked without being in a zombie situation, because I seem to have all the good ideas.
Yeah, because the two of us don't
I
really
came up
seem
with
to-
some of the answers.
Some.
We don't tend to think about this on a normal basis.
Well, I'm sorry if I could have a lot of time on my hands to go delve into my mind. Anyone else want to enter there?
No.
Yeah,
I'd have to have like a full body suit on with the mask, and, like a biohazard suit or something.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
At least mask and gloves, one of those big sumo suits.
Yeah. But yeah, what I've learned is that, well, Pokemon's constantly going to be big. Nintendo's methods of fixing things have yet to change. And you got to watch what you say.
Oh.
Every one of us.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are certain lines that no one wants to cross.
Mm-mm.
As awful people as we are, we learn where to draw the line every single day.
And this is where the American listener goes, "Fuck you guys! What about the other few episodes?"
Well, yes, but those are different things. What we're talking about are lines to cross where we do not target individuals unless they cannot target us back. I'm sorry about the hypocrisy there, but it's true. And we do not say things that...
I give them free... If I say anything bad to anyone, I give them free go at me.
And of course, we do not say things about people that do not deserve anything to be said about them.
Mm-hmm.
But as you've noticed, we don't target those that we believe are in the right.
Yeah, that's why you see comics rip on the Amish all the time, because they don't really have to worry about getting any bad press from people.
Well, like, we won't target people that we know don't deserve it. Like, people that, I don't know, legitimately have fucked up and it's something they can't help. We target those that are stupid, dumb, fucking redneck, idiot, motherfucking Bible thumpers.
We're usually pretty good with someone who fucks up if they'll own that and they'll
Yeah,
accept
if you
that,
own it,
acknowledge
you accept it, go for it. But if you're a stubborn jackass, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry, but I find that there was a very much lack of swearing from me in this podcast.
It's a little disturbing.
I'm looking at Harvey. But
and,
yeah,
and I think Mark also learned something else today.
what's that?
I think Mark might be the glue that binds us together.
Oh yeah, you should have seen what happened off air. So, before we end off, we'd like to give you a bit of foreshadowing on what we might want to do and what we could do. There's some videos we might want to do.
Yes, we have a sponsor we do want to continue
Paying homage to.
yes, and that shall be coming soon, we hope, in pure video format.
And this is where my director thing comes into play.
We will be making it our quest to see this comes out through fruition.
Yes.
Also,
I will make sure that this will happen.
I will also do,
You will experience these things.
as I said before, I might want to do some anime and manga reviews. I don't know whether I want to do this recorded or video or vlog. Oh, sorry about that. But
Most of these, though, are side things, and we probably shall stick them onto the blog more than likely.
yes, or
Just like Harvey's little thing he put up.
Yeah,
the other-
little. Yeah,
if it's
well, it was one thing, so it was
if
it's such a condescending descriptor. But yes, look out for more To Whom It May Concern in the future.
yes, and maybe Matt will have his own little thing eventually in the future.
I shall think about it, but for now, I believe I shall try and keep things in check between these two.
But yeah, if it's something
And,
mainstream for me, though, I might post it up on the
Yes,
actual
and of course, since it has to be said, we're back, bitches!
Oh, we're all back in paradise now.
Call the 911. We're here. I'm not.
We're not queer.
We're not. I was gonna say we're. Oh wait.
We're not queer, but you'll get used to it.
So ciao, motherfucker, and
Keep out of tall grass.
yes.